Hey there everyone, another video, another preview build for Community Theme Creator version 3.3. Hopefully this will be a quick one, but I just wanted to show you the progress that I'd made primarily over Friday night, Saturday. Okay, so let's get into it. All right, doesn't really matter what view. Actually, let's not go into this theme. Let's see, we'll go into something. All right. Okay, all the work was done in the editor. And so far, you could say that it doesn't look any different. You would be somewhat right. But I've made a considerable set of updates to, again, the Elements Properties panel. I was alerted to an issue with the properties not being displayed correctly for version 327. Sorry, yeah, 327. The properties weren't being displayed correctly if the Windows desktop settings are changed with a scaling percent of like 300%. I guess it would be skewy if it was 175 and so on, but so it just wasn't right. So so obviously I was focusing on that. Plus there were some other changes I wanted to make anyway. So I'm not going to show you whether or not this works within a 300% scaling thing, because I don't know what that would do with OBS and while I'm recording. But I've tried it in multiple scaling percentages and it works just fine. All right. So this you saw before. You can maintain, you can select. Okay. I mean, for the most part, I've kind of cleaned that up. So just to recap, I just selected a text style called Pyramids Yellow with Reddish Shadow with a font size of 80. I can go in and apply this style, and you see the style name here. I can go ahead and apply it. You saw that in the last video, but for those of you that didn't see last week's video, that's what you can do. Let me just undo that. And so you have the toolbar. You can now right click on the toolbar. There's a new menu option called Dock. So now these icons will appear in the Elements Properties panel. Okay. You can right click and show labels. Okay. And you can switch it back to float. All right. So I'll keep it as Dock. And you know, the functionality is the same. Right click, select style, pyramids. There it is. Right click here, apply the style. All right. But you can now resize the element properties panel. Okay. So there is a certain max width that I have applied, but I haven't applied any height restrictions. Well, there's a minimum height restriction, but there is no maximum height restriction. Okay. All right. So it all depends on how you wish to operate, and you can still scale. So for those of you that like operating in a high scaling percentage in Windows, this should help you out. You can scale the window up and down, plus you can actually resize it if you want more real estate in this area. All right. And then again, you know, when I get round to applying different languages, this just makes more sense because now I'm allowing that much more real estate for label headings and other pieces of information that I need to apply here. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. It was kind of almost like a big overhaul, really, of this panel. There was an awful lot of work that I needed to do, which was basically all of my Friday and Saturday. All right. So, so yeah, it doesn't look like I did a lot, but trust me, I really did. Let me see what else. So I'm going to scale this up. And then, and for those of you who are wondering, how am I scaling this up? I'm press and holding the left control key, and I'm using my scroll wheel on my mouse to do this. But I've also included a right click where you can zoom in and out, so you can do it here. I plan to add the same option over here as well. Okay, on this toolbar when it's floating. All right, so that is pretty much it. But I just wanted to show you some of the things that I've done in the past week, and also kind of buttoned up some of the code that I had shown off the week before. I'm always doing that. It's more kind of concept, and then I go back, and as I'm testing, if there's any kind of issues, I'm just reinforcing the code as I go. All right. But yeah, once you see this video, there'll be a preview build 3 out on Patreon. All right. And for those of you that have signed up to get early access to these builds, thank you so much for supporting me. And for all the other members and paid members on Patreon, I really do appreciate all your support. All right. So anyway, that's this week's video, this week's build. More to come. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon.